The Chicago Bulls might be legit. They are on an insane tear these last couple games, just destroying LA, putting up 145 points against the Luka Lakers, and they're 4-2 on their 6-game West Coast road trip, with the average margin of defeat by 4.5 points and an average margin of victory of 16.75 points. They beat a good Denver team. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Billy Donovan, he's done a phenomenal job coaching this basketball team, maximizing all the players on this team. You look at, Trey Jones, 11.5 points he's averaging with the Bulls. He's gotta stay with the Bulls. I think he's a key role player, and in the games that he started for the Bulls, they're 5-2. He wasn't a factor with the Spurs. Zach Collins, he's been a factor for the Bulls, averaging 9.5 points per game and 7 rebounds a game in 21 minutes. In San Antonio, he's averaging 4.5 points per game in 11 minutes. Kevin Huerter, he was just staying put in Sacramento. And we saw his shooting percentages, his shooting numbers take a toll because he wasn't moving around well. Since he came to Chicago, Billy Donovan has been moving him around, and we've seen him be more effective. He had a 25-point performance against Sacramento 5 days ago, and he's averaging 12.7 points per game. The Bulls are third in three-pointers made this season. The last 3 seasons, 2024, they were 27th. 2023, they were 30th. And 2022, they were 29th. DeRozan wasn't a three-point shooter. LaVine was the only three-point shooter we really had. He was kind of carrying our three-point shooting. Coby White as well. But now they're spreading the ball a lot more around. Billy Donovan, since, trading LaVine, he has changed the entire style of play for this Bulls team. They're playing a little more unselfish. They're spreading the ball around. They're finding open looks. They're playing better defensively. We all thought the season was over after trading LaVine, but Billy Donovan has kept this team competitive after this roster turnover. Nikola Vucevic is the only 30-year-old player on this team. This is a relatively young roster. I mentioned a little bit about three-point shooting for the Bulls. They were one of the worst teams to start the year. Now they're up there with Boston in taking three-point attempts. And what Billy Donovan has done a great job with is developing young players. Booz Ellis has been out there getting starting minutes. He's played well. Dalen Terry just had a really good performance, shooting 5 from 10 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, and he closed out the last 17 minutes of the game, providing valuable minutes. This is, the most time he's gotten in crunch time since he's been a Bull. And we saw him make a lot of plays, some big dunks, play well defensively, and knock down threes. Booz Ellis, Giddey, Coby White. This team plays with more pace. I just really love what I'm seeing from this Bulls team, a young team, playing like one of the best teams in the NBA. Michael Malone, before, the matchup against the Bulls, said the Bulls are one of the best running teams in the NBA. We are seeing how good of a coach Billy Donovan is now, with how he's able to get the most out of everybody on this roster. And we're seeing guys, turn into stars right before our eyes. The run Giddey's been on since the All-Star break. Coby White, what he's done now, so give props to Billy Donovan. He's done a phenomenal job as head coach. Having LaVine out the picture, we are able to see things from a better perspective. And Billy Donovan single-handedly saved AK's ass with that Giddey Caruso trade. That trade looks like a fleece now in the Bulls' favor. Giddey is averaging 14 points per game this season, 7.7 rebounds per game, 1.2 steals per game, and Caruso, he's a contributing factor on OKC, but he's 31 years old. We didn't give up any draft assets to get Giddey. The player he's playing like now, so that trade looks a lot different now. More on Josh Giddey, that all-star run he was on, it's still going. He's getting to the paint aggressively. He's kicking out, finding his teammates. That's something he wasn't doing as much in OKC. He was staying at the three-point line, missing shots, shooting bricks. But in Chicago, recently, since the all-star break, he's shooting 53% from 3 the last 10 games. Averaging 22 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, 9.1 assists per game, and he's doing that on the other end with steals. Had 8 steals against the Lakers. We haven't seen the stat line he had against the Lakers in NBA history. 10 rebounds, 17 assists, 15 points, 8 steals, almost a quadruple double. So attacking the rim, the finishing ability has been improved from Giddey from the start of the season. Three-point shooting is better. He's not going to realistically shoot 53% from 3 continuously, it'll probably simmer down, but just knocking down 38%, 36% from three is a huge improvement for where he was last season. They didn't play him in the playoffs because he couldn't knock down threes, and he was an unreliable defender. But now he's showing you he can make shots, and he can be a solid defender, getting steals, causing turnovers. And he's showing you he can play off ball and complement Coby White pretty well. We were all wrong about Josh Giddey. He deserves a bag. He's going to get 30 M's, and I will have no complaint about it. I will not say nothing about Giddey getting the bag because we've seen it a continuous streak of 12 games. It's not like it's just been a couple games, 5 games. Like, he's just changed everything about his game. He's bought into this Bulls system. He's bought into, Billy Donovan and what this team's trying to do, and he's improved his team for the better. Only 22 years old too. The Bulls won that trade. And then what Coby White has done, he's taken on the role as the leading scorer. 3 straight 30-point performances, 35 points against the Kings, 36 points against the Lakers, 37 points against the Nuggets. He's destroying teams, winning games, taking over. Really like what he's done. He's going to get the bag too. Giddey and him are both going to get 30 million, so $65 million backcourt annually. And I don't know if I'll have a problem with that. If they continue this, if they continue playing like this, if they continue complimenting each other, Coby White and Michael Jordan are the only Bulls to win back-to-back Eastern Conference Player of the Weeks. In the last 10 games, Coby White is averaging 30.6 points per game with 3 3-pointers made a game. He had a 30-point performance this season. So he's the king of March. He's always putting up, streaks like this in March, but I feel like this feels different. It feels like he's stepping within his own. He's finding confidence, and he's taking that next step in his game. Averaging 20.3 points per game this season. So him, Giddey, Buzelis, you're getting the most out of these 3 young players. It's exciting times. The Bulls are in position now. They're the 9th seed right now in the Eastern Conference, and I don't think Cleveland wants to see them.
He just can't put together a healthy season. But during mandatory minicamp, he revealed to Bears media and in press conferences that his team reached out to the Bears to potentially get a contract